Good morning, this is Karen and welcome back to another video. Today I am at St Albans City railway station, and the reason is St Albans has been my home for the past 2 months and I'm gonna be leaving next week. It's about 6:30 in the morning. It's only September and the temperature is 4 degrees. Hope you enjoy the video and see you soon. This video in my mind for a while, and so I decided to get my skates back. Once something ends, it just becomes like a big dream. And I do keep a diary, but no matter how detailed I try to explain my thoughts, my feelings and emotions from that day, I cannot recall them. That's why I wanted to capture what used to be my everyday at one point. My schedule for this summer has been I get up at 5 a.m, take about an hour to get ready. I leave my house at 6, swim for about 50 minutes, catch the bus from the St Albans Abbey station to go to Harpenden. I work for about 8 hours and leave by 4:30. I usually get home by 6. Sometimes I do my grocery shopping on the way back. I eat dinner, chill for a bit, go to sleep before 10 p.m. Where I usually do my grocery shopping. There's a big Sainsbury's next door, which is also really convenient. I love having big supermarkets, can get so much more variety of food. I say this, I've been eating the same things, which is pasta, curries and stir fries. This is the Westminster Lodge Leisure Centre, which is my local swimming pool. I come here to swim every morning on the weekdays. It's a lovely pool. It's got a huge glass window where the sun comes through in the morning. I've kept up my goal of doing 10k every week. I switched to doing freestyle non-stop. Now I learn to breathe on both sides when doing freestyle, which is nice. St Albans is a city in Hertfordshire, located about 40 kilometers northwest of London. It's one of the London's commuter cities. It takes less than half an hour to go to London if you take the fastest train. In Japan, I think it will be about the same as going from Tokyo to Totsuka, which is also about 40 kilometers. But in terms of the place itself, I feel like it's more closer to Hiratsuka. St Albans is quite rural, mostly residential, quite a lot of hills, lots of big parks and green space, which I really like. They also do a market every Saturday along St. Peter's Street, which is in the city centre. St Albans used to be a Roman city called Verulamium. It was the second largest town in Roman Britain, which dates back to about AD 50. You can find Roman ruins scattered around Verulamium Park even today. The history of the city itself dates back thousands of years, which I find it quite fascinating. I moved here to commute to Harpenden, which is a town next door. Harpenden is part of the city and district of St Albans, located about 10 kilometers north of St Albans City. It's also a commuter city, quite posh area. Having this minor identity crisis to do with my cultural identity and the sense of belonging. My nationality doesn't match with my cultural upbringing. I grew up in India, lived there for 6.5 years since I was 9 years old, and so a large portion of my childhood memories, how my personality developed, was from when I was in India. I met a lot of new people. I had many occasions where I'd introduce myself with the phrase, I am from Japan and I am Japanese. It's not wrong, but seems as if it completely erases that part of my identity identity that is still rooted to India. The second point is that my country of origin is not the same as the place I want to belong to. Since I moved to the UK, I like it so much here. I really want to stay here in the long run. But obviously, I don't belong to the UK. People will naturally ask me, how often do you go back to Japan? This is a completely normal thing to ask, but this phrasing specifically raises so many questions inside me. My home right now is in the UK. This is where I spend the majority of my time. And yes, I used to belong to my home in Japan, but I left it 3 years ago. In my head, it's more correct to say I visit Japan instead of saying I go back to Japan. This raises another question, which is, where do I belong to? I've also been trying to extend my visa to stay in the UK. I have to obviously go through all these legal processes to stay here. I'm a foreigner. To be able to continue staying in the country, I need to become a person, a worker, approved by the people here. Being a foreigner in a place where I want to belong to is not quite ideal. So I tried to organize all these thoughts, eventually came up with this explanation. I think that identity can be divided into 3 parts: factual, legal, and conceptual. Factual identity includes place of birth, ancestry, ethnicity, race, which are past events, therefore cannot be changed, facts which are out of my control. For example, I was born in Japan to 2 Japanese parents. The legal identity includes nationality and citizenship, which mostly comes from legal documents such as passports. It is possible to change my legal identity in the long run if I wanted to, but this is something that requires time. The legal identity is such an important part when it comes to the sense of belonging, because unless you legally belong to a country, not visas, which are temporary, but more of the long-term legal documents such as the indefinite leave to remain or the citizenship, unless you have these, you will always be treated as a foreigner. The third part is the conceptual identity. This is how I can perceive my own identity. This is heavily influenced by factual and legal identities. I think that the conceptual identity can be broken down into 3 phrases: my home is, I am based in, and I belong to. These might sound quite similar, but my home means a temporary location where I currently live. Right now, it would be St Albans. My home can keep changing according to where I'm living. I am based in is more of a broader location where I spend most of my time, where my career is based. Right now, this would be the UK. I belong to is more of a permanent place where I eventually want to go back to, and is somewhere that I feel a sense of security and stability in terms of both my personal life and my career. This means I do not belong anywhere right now. I used to have this answer, but I could not quite explain it. I will just have to believe that eventually I will have somewhere to belong to. Anyways, these things seem rather trivial, but even so, I still need an answer to these kind of questions, especially when writing personal statements. I can't just be like, I want to stay in the UK and work here because I really like it here. That's not enough of a reason. It's always something to keep thinking about. This is the Hashing Green bus station, which is in the middle of nowhere. It's to the point that the bus drivers miss the station. The bus is almost never on time. If there's one thing that I learned, it's to become zen when waiting for the bus. This is Rothamsted Research, the longest running agricultural research institution in the world. Founded in 1843 by Sir John Bennet Lawes and Sir Joseph Henry Gilbert. Lawes was a scientist and entrepreneur who owned the Rothamsted estate. Gilbert was a chemist. They collaborated on many research surrounding crop nutrition. Still a major research center for agricultural science. It's been a really great opportunity to be able to work here. I met lots of wonderful and lovely people, many inspiring scientists. It gave me lots of new ideas and things to think about. Also, they gave me a birthday card, which was really heartwarming. Lots of good memories this summer. reached the city center of Harpenden, where I finished my skate. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day, have a lovely skate, and see you soon. So one thing I've been wanting to do in Harpenden was to come to Simon's bakery. I came to this bakery after I finished my interview for my current internship back in March. I decided to come here again to order the exact same things, coronation chicken bun and cup of tea. I sat down at the exact same seat as last time. It was so surreal to think that the first time I sat here, I hadn't even started. Quite a bit to take in. But anyways, bye!